and we're on this layer, the background layer, so you can see she's cut out right there. So opacity 14 is pretty good. Let's make it like 30. And just go around and lighten everything except for that stupid little piece of magic. Because normally I wouldn't. Normally I like separating the person from the background. But in this case, the colors match so well, I want to screw with that as little as possible. So there, that's a little bit better. Okay, now we're merging down. Before after. I'm okay with the magic here. I might screw around with it more later, but just for the purposes of this, I'm gonna merge it down. Alright, so now we're gonna go into coloring. We're gonna duplicate this layer. Image, adjustments, color balance. If you want the vintage look, you just put the shadows to cyan and the lights to color, but we don't want to do that. And we want to keep this very natural looking, so I'm not going to mess with it very much at all. Usually I do. Usually I just screw around with this entirely, but it's a good looking image already. I'm going to make it the highlights more yellow, the shadows a little bit more red, midtones a little more green, and it looks good. Before after. And I'm going to lower the saturation a little bit, and saturation, by the way, is this thing. Black and white, or, you know, eye-blaringly modern art shit. So, going down 6. I'm also going to add another slight layer of color, and this isn't always necessary. I usually just put it on and see if I like it. We're going to make a new layer, fill it in with, yeah, this color's good, yellow. Set it to color, and bring the opacity down to like 16. That gives it all a very slight one color. But actually for this one, I'm going to go to soft light instead. And what this does, it gives it a kind of a soft, light, colorful glow. So you can see the before and the after, the soft light. I don't want it quite that much, maybe like to 19 or so. The opacity here. I'm going to merge that down. And this is usually good for if you want to make the image look more dreamy. Alright. Let's see. Merge that down. So I'm going to duplicate this layer. Image, adjustments, levels, and I usually do levels one of the last things because when you adjust colors, it messes with the levels a lot, and you can end up getting blown out images without meaning to. So levels is one of the last steps I do, unless the image is really messed up at the beginning, but this one wasn't. So I'm holding down the Alt button, I'm taking this little slider and dragging it back. And what this is going to show you is how overblown all of this is. So if I wanted to put it here, it would look horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. So I usually just pull it up until, let's see, I don't want her dress to be blown out. So maybe a little bit because I want the rest of her skin to be a little lighter. So maybe like right there. Another way to tell is like where the part of the black stops in here, in the histogram. And this is the midtones. And I think I'm going to make it a little bit lighter. 107. And I think that's good. I don't need to bring the darkness in anymore. Alright, so for vignetting, which I'm gonna... No, stop, go away. I do ghetto vignetting. Ghetto vignette. I feel like a band name. We are the ghetto vignettes. Anyway, so, right, no, stop it. I'm focusing on what I'm doing, shut up. So I select the circle tool here, feather to 250 pixels, which is as high as it will go. I have a large image, so you might need to adjust that depending on your personal image. I just did a little circle there. Select inverse, and then we're going to lower the light in levels to there, lower that, and then image adjustments, hue saturation, and lower the saturation, and Control D to deselect, and there we go. Oh no, it's too far back. I want this to look more glowy too, the magic area, so I'm going to put a kind of a loose circle around the magic and her face too, so that's what we want the focal point to be. So we're going to select inverse, and we're going to make the rest of the image a little darker, just to make the inside pop. Just going to pull that up, pull that down, and pull that in. Okay, and I always lower the hue saturation just a tiny bit, because our eyes are drawn to what's colorful and what's contrasty. Right. So there's that. Oh, and one thing I usually do at the beginning, but I forgot. I want to make her legs a little longer. And this works for any like model standing in a basic environment. What I do is I select a square about right here, no feathering. Control T, and drag it down. Just a tad. I don't want to overdo it, so that's all I'm going for. And it's that easy. Also, before I end, I have this picture of Painted Sky by Ravenstock. Control C, copy, and pasting in here. That up there. And set blending mode to soft light. Yeah. Kind of gives it a more dreamy-ish feel. I don't like it that much though. Maybe I'll set it to like 25 or something. Yeah. Putting a faint cloud layer on anything makes it look cooler, right? Alright, okay, and now we're done. 4. The end. Ta-da!